Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Art of Creation Homestead. My name is Jason. If you're not familiar with us, we're here in Southwest Ohio, and I gotta be honest with you, it's a lovely day, right? Here we are, pressing towards middle November, and it's been in the 70s today. One more day of really nice weather. I think we got another day of some rainy weather, and then it's all downhill from there, they say. This could be it. We've had some cold weather already, and in theory we've already had a freeze here, but that's the sun's in my eyes, sorry. In theory we've already had a freeze here, but we haven't, honestly. So we still have a lot growing. We have a lot, really, for November 9th, is that what today is? It's really got a lot still. I'm going to take you around today. We'll just talk about what we have, what's going on, and couple interesting stories along the way, maybe. But over here, these peppers, like right here where we're at, I'm going to show you. We're facing, this is the west side of our yard, okay? So this side is west, so the sun's setting right here, and we've got a canopy right here of these trees. See, these are maple trees. They kind of come over the garden a little bit, and that does block sun because we face south, okay? So it does block sun, but it has worked in our favor at this point because these peppers, I mean, we've been below 30. Okay, I think we had a 29-degree morning, and we still have peppers growing. See, we got it's a beautiful Ashvarsky pepper. You know, some down there. We got peppers to pick. Trying to get these yellow ones to turn before it gets cold on us. Our peppers haven't done the best this year. We had a tunneling critter of some kind that tunneled underneath them early and ate all the roots, presumably. They lived, but their growth was stunted like crazy. So they were stunted really bad. It did not produce what we were hoping, because we've never had issues growing peppers. We've always grown massive amounts of peppers. They didn't work out this year because of that. And over here we told you, we showed you planting fall tomatoes, right? We planted them sometime in July, I guess. Some people say it don't work. Okay, granted, we didn't have super great success with it. Honestly, it did work, but the only reason we didn't really have success with it is, one, something killed the tomatoes right here that we planted. They just straight up died. I don't know what happened there. And the Romas that we planted back here, honestly, just didn't get enough sun. But here we are in November, and we have tomatoes. Now, they've been blighted. You can tell it's been rough. It's also been really dry here, so it's just hard to do all that. But hey, we do have tomatoes. See? So we did get some tomatoes. Another issue we've had with these tomatoes is even when they do ripen and turn, we'll pick them, and right in the top, right here, I don't really know how this one's gonna look. That little top right there at the core is we've had worms get in those. I don't know. Now, honestly, we've had that issue before here. I don't really know what causes that. I wish I did. And I wish I knew how to fix it, but we haven't even figured out how to fix it, because they look fine, they look good, and then there's a worm poking out of the top of it once you get in there. So it's kind of disturbing. So we've had that issue as well, but they did grow, they did produce. We don't get enough sun right here. Back here, like I said, the garden gets shaded from these trees. And so if they had a couple more hours of sun, they'd been much better off. Probably at the top end of the garden, or even on the other side of the yard, they'd been much better off. But they don't, because this is the spot we had that was open. Total experiment. It's not a failure. Okay, it could have done better, but it's not a failure. We do still have this last Tromboncina growing, okay? Big, massive one. We talked about those and how much we love growing them, but that one we're letting go for winter squash. We've heard, we've never tried it, I don't think, but we've heard that you can use them as a summer squash, like a zucchini, when they're young and tender, or you can let them go to seed. They'll change colors, get kind of tan, and you can be used as a winter squash. So we're gonna let one go for a winter squash, also hoping to be able to harvest seeds off of that one, because when you pick them young and tender, they don't have seeds in them. So that's kind of a bonus to picking them tender, or young and tender. They're really delicious, and there's no seeds to deal with, so it's all fruit, all flesh. So they're really delicious that way. Hoping for a great result there too. At least some really good seeds. Right here's a bed that I don't think we showed planting, but planted it full of lettuce. And some has sprouted. I think some more sprouted and got eaten by a rabbit. Some more sprouted over here. I did plant that bed really late, it's too late to plant, but I was like, you know what? It's been kind of warm, so I wanted to plant it. We're gonna cover it with some tunnels. I'll show you what kind of tunnels we have. I got another section planted of some kale down here, and it's covered. So the cover would help, keep it warmer, but also keep the rabbit off of it, because even though we got electric fence around there, we have a rabbit that knows how to get in there. Yes, we've been well documenting our troubles with rabbits this year, but I thought we got rid of them. Another one came back. It's just, once you get rabbits, they never really seem to be gone, do they? So it can get in there and nibble at those, which is, it's done. There's not as much there as there was before. But we do have lettuce back here. We planted it in this green stalk. It's doing really well. It's doing great, actually. This is on spinner, so we can spin it around. Looks really good. All up and down through here, really good looking lettuce. Now this one, like I said, it's on a spinner, so you can kind of spin around towards the sun. And we do have a cover for these, so we're gonna be able to cover this before it gets really cold. And while it can handle cold weather, covering it's just gonna help. Gonna help it grow a little bit longer, maybe withstand the cold weather a little bit better, maybe. So we're excited about this one. Man, that looks really good. Honestly, we planted it late too, and we've had good results though. The spinach over here, it looks really good. It's on spinner as well. It's doing all right. But again, lettuce down here just didn't germinate that much. I don't know if I washed it out or if it's just too late in the year. I have no idea. Another thing that could happen to some of that lettuce is that I was just using seeds that I could find. Some seeds we probably had for 4 or 5 years, honestly. And so I was just using whatever seeds I could find, because we didn't buy any because we knew we had a lot of lettuce. And so I was just using whatever we could find. I may have used some old seeds and some of that just wasn't going to germinate that well. Here's something though that I love, I'm really excited about, is our carrots. We have some carrots growing right down here in some grow bags. We harvested some beautiful carrots last year on November 13th last year, okay? So it was warm again last year, a little bit late in the year. It's been kind of the way it's been the last few years. While we have had some cold weather this year, last year we hadn't have any cold weather. It was just warm up until then. So this year, we've had some cold weather, had some freezes. Carrots can handle cold weather. We did cover it with some frost fabric when we had the colder weather. But I think we very well may just go ahead and harvest these things this weekend. And if we do, then there will be a video coming on that. But I'll show you how they're looking real fast. We planted 3 varieties. One's called Kyoto Red, and one's called New Carota, and one is called Scarlet Nantes. The New Carotas are really good carrots. Let's see how these are looking. See, you can see it down there. There's a good looking carrot. There's some better ones on in there, but it's so thick I don't really want to prowl through there too much. Here's one. Let's see what it is. See, it's looking really good too. So these carrots are looking great. I love fresh carrots. Okay, I love fresh carrots. Last year, Angela made up a recipe of some maple glazed carrots that she posted for Thanksgiving style recipes. I could eat about a pound or 2 of those. They're so good. Amazing carrots. Great flavor. It's almost like eating a salted caramel carrot. It's so stinking good. But hopefully those will be ready to harvest. Hopefully we'll harvest them soon. I really kind of want to let them go for just a bit longer, but we may have to go and harvest them just because their growth is going to be stunted so much from the cold weather, because they're supposed to stay in the 40s, be in the low 20s at night. I'm not really sure they're going to be able to grow anymore. They'll be able to withstand and survive, but growing, it might just be a waste of time. I'm trying to let them grow more. Here's the kale that I planted that I used the cover over. We planted it late again. It's growing. Hopefully it can continue to grow a little bit. I think I had more than that germinated before, but as I said, I would assume a rabbit has had some snacks there. It is what it is, right? It happens. Rabbits eat green food. If you don't protect it, they're gonna eat it. So that's why the cover is already there, but it will help what the kale that's there continue to grow a little bit longer into the season. I have something interesting to show you. See this right here? Does anybody know what that is? Okay, give you a second. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now I'll tell you. It's an Oriole's nest. Fascinating, isn't it? Look at that. It's an Oriole's nest. Every year we have at least a pair of Orioles come back and make a nest in the tree right here above our chicken coop. And they come in, and they're here at an odd time, really. They kind of come in like spring, and they breed, build their nest, breed, and they're gone by like July-ish, or maybe by August, but they're gone fairly early. They take a hike, they get out of here, they already start their migration back. They start their migration back to the south pretty early. I don't know if they just have to have further to go or what, but they start back pretty early, and it's fascinating. We love them. They're beautiful birds. Those are Baltimore Orioles that come here. There are different breeds of Orioles. Those are Baltimore Orioles that come here. We have a picture of one that if we can, but it's hard to see them because they're flighty. They're not gonna come and let you pet them, right? But they're wild birds. But it's a fascinating thing that we enjoy every year. Hey kiddos. Hey there, hey sweetness. You looking good, aren't you? Yeah, you do. Tootie, you're looking good, ain't you? Yeah. Gotta come look at the camera. Angela, can I give you girls some soaked feed today? Yeah. Now, do you want a funny story? We obviously we're down this time of year. The chickens just stop laying eggs. It's shorter daylight, which affects their laying, and they go into a process called molt. Okay, if you're not aware, that's what they do. They molt, and hey, stop it. Tootie, quit pecking me. But anyways, they go to molt, and so we only had two girls laying. They were black copper Morans, so they laid dark eggs, and they were young chickens. So we knew what eggs there was theirs. So it just got to the point that those were the only two laying. So we knew those were laying. All right, one of them had stopped laying. It was obvious she'd stopped laying. We could tell that she was no longer in a laying season of her life, and so it was okay. We're down to one. Little Miss Sophia. Okay, Sophia's her name, and she's a little strange. She's a good chicken, but she's got a mind of her own. Okay, and she does what she wants. But anyway, so we're down to her laying. She was laying every other day, and we knew eventually she's just gonna stop laying as well. So we just stopped getting her eggs. Another one of our older chickens had started laying back. Madeline, the white one back there, she's an Easter egger. She lays little green eggs, and she's proud of herself. And so anyway, so she had started laying eggs, and we were like, okay, we're getting a little green egg every other day. We knew it was her, but we really thought Sophia, hey sweetness, but we really thought Sophia was still laying, but we just couldn't find no more eggs. She's no more brown eggs from Sophia. So we thought really she was laying. She was getting in a box, a little nest, and not laying. But we didn't get them, so we assumed she stopped. Even though we both had an assumption, Angela and I both assumed that she was laying them somewhere. Well, yesterday I come out here, and I seen a brown egg sticking out from under the boxes. Right down under here, there was a brown egg right under here. Hey, sweetness, you see yourself? You see yourself? Huh? So I grabbed that brown egg and said, "Hey, Sophia, I know what you're doing." And then I went and got another egg, and found another egg. She laid 4 eggs there. She had laid like for an entire week or so, right under that spot. Crouched her little self down under there and laid an egg, and was hiding them from us. Buried them. Okay, that one was just basically the clutch of eggs got so big that she could no longer hide them. So, and she gave me a dirty look. I found her eggs, and she gave me a dirty look. Can you believe that? But that's an interesting thing. There's kind of something I want to tell you is she's not the first chicken we had to do that this year. She was the same age as another one that laid blue eggs. Okay, and she had started putting her eggs in the corner and burying them right before she stopped laying. Kind of been a strange season for that. So again, those girls are just over a year old, heading towards their first molt in their life. I got a friend at work who has some 1-year-olds, a little over a year old, heading towards their first molt, and he had 1 or 2 chickens doing that there. hiding their eggs, laying them in a random spot. And then my dad has chickens, and he has one that's just over a year old, who's heading towards her first molt, and he can't find her eggs anymore. So she went to laying like 3 or 4 straight days to not laying at all. So obviously she was still laying somewhere too. So it leads me to believe that they've got an issue. They're like, see, one thing is fascinating to me about chickens is that it's their sole desire to reproduce. Okay, hens lay eggs in hopes to reproduce. A rooster, one rooster can handle 8 or 9 hens, 10, 11 hens, and fertilize all their eggs by himself. The roosters are very virile, and it's their desire to reproduce. That's what goes on. They want to reproduce. And if you know anything about chickens at all, or maybe you want to learn a little bit about them, one thing is they like to lay their eggs in the same spot. They will fight over one position, one nest box, one spot, and want to lay all their eggs in that one group, typically. So they kind of spread out a little bit once they realize they can't lay their eggs there. But one thing is that they really do desire, like, if they look at a box that's empty and a box has 3 eggs, they're gonna go lay their egg on the 3 eggs. They want to gather them up so they can get one big clutch, so one can sit on them and hatch those out. It's just their desire. That's what they do. But obviously, our eggs aren't fertile. We don't have a rooster. But so it's an interesting thing. And in my mind says, okay, why are they doing this? I think it's honestly because I feel like they know that they're getting ready to stop laying eggs for the season, and their time is waning on being able to hatch eggs and have babies this season. So I feel like their biological clock is ticking. So they're like, hey, these people are coming and stealing our eggs every day. I need to go hide them, because if I don't hide them, they're gonna take them, and I'm not gonna be hatching babies this year. That's the way my mind operates with them. I wouldn't be surprised, because they're all the same age. It's kind of an immaturity thing for them as well, and their bodies are going through something different because they've never molted before. It's got to be a different feeling for them. But that was just an odd story that give me a weird thought process about how they're seeing things. So I don't know, but interesting. Hey, look, more lettuce. More lettuce. We've harvested off this lettuce twice, and it's still growing. See, we told you we cut them. Right, we cut all this off, and it was sheared down, and now look, it's grown again. So that's good looking lettuce. That's proof that cut and come again method works with lettuce. But I think that's it. I don't know, we got garlic over here, but I'm not sure how much of it sprouted yet. It's taking its time. But it's trying to do what we can right before it gets cold. It's going to get cold on us this weekend, and it's inevitable. It's seasons, so I think we'll deal with it. But thank you guys so much for watching. We do appreciate it. Thanks for, if you stuck around this long, thank you for listening to me rambling and for looking at everything. Looking at all of our vegetables that's still growing. Thank y'all for watching. We do appreciate it. Hey, my name is Jason. This is Art of Creation Homestead. We love y'all. God bless you and goodbye.